After helping over 100,000 people in 138 countries change their relationship with alcohol, I know a thing or two about bad habits. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 simple steps to follow to break any bad habit. Hi, I'm Rory, and I help entrepreneurs achieve 120% performance by optimizing every area of their life. Step 1 to break any habit is really simple. It's awareness. We have to first get awareness of the habit, the truth. What is it really costing us? What impact is it having? What's really going on for us? Awareness can happen in many ways. Reading literature about it, learning and studying it, trying to understand more about it, speaking with people openly about it so it's not cut in shame and being quiet, getting a therapist to talk about it or working with somebody to talk about it. Meditation. Meditation is actually one of the greatest tools for building awareness. Interestingly enough, meditation builds a gap between stimulus and response, and what we find inside there is the truth of what we're actually seeking with a bad habit. And most of the times, we're actually seeking something entirely different. We don't really seek the alcohol. We don't really seek the food, or that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for something else. And when you understand what that is, then you can start on the following steps where we help you show how to get what you really want. Which leads me perfectly into my next point, number 2. In order to break bad habits, we must replace them with good habits. Professor B.J. Fogg of Stanford University, who's one of the world leaders in understanding habits, says this: bad habits are like weeds. They grow over time. They start to infect different areas: your reward system, your belief system, your emotions, your sense of self, your identity. And so over time, this bad habit gets intrinsically linked. Now, the issue is that many people try to just rip a bad habit out. They say, I'm not going to do it for a month. And all they're doing is leaving those roots in. And so often, not only does the weed come back, but it comes back worse. And this is why it's so key that to remove a bad habit for good, we have to replace it with good habits. Now, following on from the first section of understanding what you really want, we can now create the right habits to achieve the things that you do want. So for instance, at the end of the day, lots of stress, lots of difficulty dealing with people and anxiety and all of those things. You feel like you need to have a drink. Well, instead, this is when we meditate, exercise, do yoga, find ways to calm the nervous system naturally, because that's really what you're looking to do. You're trying to switch off. There are 2 great books to read here. Professor B.J. Fogg, Tiny Habit, fantastic about creation of habits. Charles Duhigg, The Power of Habit, where he shows us that every habit has a cue, a routine, and a reward. And when you understand this perspective of really that you have these triggers and that you then use a substance or a thing to gain something else, what we need to do is find a way to get that in a good way. Creating these good habits is absolutely key. Many of the simple habits, like exercise, like meditation, those are just permission to play. I say this to our busy execs, our leaders all the time, that if you want to perform at a high level, then these need to become non-negotiable. You cannot sustain a high level of performance and not be regularly exercising, not be meditating, not have some kind of system for understanding and dealing with your stress. So number 2 is absolutely replace bad habits by creating good habits. And now on to number 3. Set yourself goals. Absolutely. This is just tried and tested. We know that we need to have these goals, but absolutely make them when it comes to a bad habit. The most important thing is to get them in the right direction. Nobody wants to not drink. That is not going to work. We need to create the habits that we do want, and we need to create the vision and the goal that we do want. Don't think of a pink elephant. See what I mean? You immediately think of a pink elephant. So trying to avoid something as a goal is not the right goal. The goal is to learn to enjoy being alcohol-free. What is it to find the alcohol-free version of yourself? What is it to find a slimmer version of yourself? What is it to be fit, really fit? Or what is it to hit that marathon or run that PB? Those are the goals. The byproduct is the thing that you don't want. Because of course, you can't achieve those goals if you don't remove the bad habit. So setting the goal in the right structure is absolutely key. Number 4, this one is big. Most people will tell you that to be successful, you need consistency. And I agree with that. Consistency and showing up is really important. But What if you're not consistent? What if you're like me? I'm ADHD, severely ADHD. Consistency is so hard for me. I like to start things and then I go into something else and I go into something else. Well, there's one thing that trumps consistency, and that is persistence. Persistence will always trump consistency. Persistence beats everything over time. Persistence wears anything down. Never ever, never give up. And if you treat the goal as an example, I want to discover what it is to be an amazing alcohol-free version of myself, or I want to find a version of myself that hardly drinks, that's in total control, that has a take it or leave it attitude, and I'm going all in on that decision, then everything that happens in between, whether you end up binge drinking one time and going, gosh, I wish I didn't do that, or you have a drink, that's just part of the journey. And we're not going back to day one or resetting or all this blame, shame, guilt. No, we're just going on a journey together. And so that allows for the ups and downs of the journey. So the most important thing here is choose that goal and go all in on it persistently. Whatever happens, never give up. And the next step is find an accountability partner. Now, they come in all shapes and sizes and types, but the science is irrefutable. When you involve somebody from an accountability perspective, you are so many more times likely to achieve your goal. So find an accountability partner, whether that's a friend or a relationship, somebody close to you, or it's a coach, it's a therapist, or it's a group and a community where you can be accountable to others. Being public and telling people that you're going for this goal, putting it up there will help you stay accountable. When you post on social media or tell friends that you're doing it, these are the ways to help yourself stay accountable. I know in the past what I've done is got a friend to do like exercise, text each other in the morning to say, I've done my exercise, have you done yours? And that kind of way, you keep chipping away. You're far more likely to achieve a goal when you have an accountability partner. So if you marry up those 5 things together, you are a habit-breaking machine. They are the core foundations for breaking any habit. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Breaking habits is very complex. Sticking to it is even more difficult. And changing your relationship with a bad habit for good, those are many, many more times complex. If you'd like to keep going, then I can help. Check out the link below and I'll see you soon.